Hello everyone, and welcome back to our backyard garden. Today it's Sunday, August 12th, 2018. Well, it has been 2 weeks since my last video on one of our unique bitter melon variety. And what you see here are Indian bitter melon. And once I finish here, I will show you the regular bitter melon that I normally grow. But anyway, let's talk about this one. Again, I have two plants here. One I planted in the container, and the other one it's on the ground. So the one on the ground seems to do a little bit better. The vines is a little bit bigger, more robust. The one in the container is a little bit smaller and kind of underdeveloped compared to the neighbor. One little shortcoming, I think, it's the trellis space. Bitter melon is a very prolific vine, so they need a lot of rooms to climb and to grow. So this here is still not enough. I mean, one plant might be okay, but two plants is very crowded. And as you can see, they have nowhere else to go, and they start attaching to the window, screen. Bitter melon is an excellent climber. They produce nice little tendril needle-like, and they can actually poke right through the hole of the net of the screen, and they can pull themselves up to that screen. But anyway, let's go back and look at the fruit. So I have about maybe 10 fruit here so far, and this one seems to develop really fast. And this is actually the first fruit that was formed, but somehow the other fruit actually catch up. The texture, let me zoom in. The texture is quite unique. It has this scaly looking thing, kind of like a reptile. It reminds me of kind of like a prehistoric dinosaur scale. That's how I describe it. But it's not sharp at all, and it's kind of firm, but it's very scaly looking exterior. I imagine you see this fruit in the wild, you might not think it's edible, but it's 100% edible. You just have to cook them very well. This one here, I want to point this one out. This was the first fruit that was formed, but as you can see, it's underdeveloped, and the fruit is actually curling. So that's not a good sign. Anytime when you have fruit, whether it's bitter melon or cucumber, when the fruit formation first develop, when it's curl up a little bit, that's not a very good sign. You want the fruit to be straight, cylindrical, elongated like this. That's a telltale. That's a good sign. Like this one. That's how beautiful. See that? All right. So here I want to compare this fruit to our regular bitter melon fruit. Look at how big they are. Now this one here is about 6 inch. This one is about 6 inch, and it's about ready to be picked. This is how big the fruits were when I first bought it from the store, about this side. So this one is ready to go. Now the one on my left hand side, it's a regular bitter melon. I picked this one. It's small, but I picked it because I saw a little bit of little tint right here, and it's gonna be ripening up very soon, so I need to pick them right away, otherwise they'll turn yellow. Once they turn yellow, you can't really eat them. It's very mushy. All right, so let us go back to the backyard, and let me show you some more. All right, so here we are on our other variety of bitter melon. As you can see, there's a lot of fruit here so far. Look at this one, how big this one is. Look at that, beautiful fruit. It's still very firm, it's still green. There's no hint of any tint, yellow tint on here. So that means I can still continue to leave them, allow it to develop even bigger. Now one little observation that I made, or I should point out, is that when the fruit is forming, you want the fruit to be long, elongate like this, very smooth and long, and that's a telltale sign that the plant is producing well. If it have a little odd shape, and here I have some example here to show you, like kind of like this. See that? When it's odd shape like this, that means the plant is not developing very well, and normally this kind of fruit here will turn yellow very fast, and just aesthetically it's not very pleasing compared to this one. So it's kind of odd looking, and whenever you have an odd looking fruit like this, it will tend to ripen very soon, even when it's tiny. I want to show you another example. Look at this one. Look at this one. See that? So it curl up like that. So you can tell the fruit is not very pleasing looking. And normally the plant will try to abort it or try to rush it to turn yellow very soon. All right, and one more observations, and I failed to mention it on my earliest video regarding the yellow leaves of the plant. So if you look very carefully, there are absolutely no yellow leaves in the front of the plant. Look at that. There are absolutely no yellow leaves at all. But if you look closely, and if I dig out, look at this. There's yellow leaves underneath all this foliage. So it's quite simple, and I kind of failed to mention it on the last two video, is that when the leaves are not getting sunlight, they will eventually turn yellow. Very simple. Plants relies on sunlight for maximum photosynthesis. That's how they pull in the sunlight to create sugar and to feed the overall health and vitality of the plants. So without sunlight, those leaves will turn yellow. Imagine each one of those leaves is a working tool of the plant, and if the tool is not working, guess what? The plant will try to get rid of it. Simple as that. All right, and definitely only the yellow leaves are inside, deep inside, where no sunlight can penetrate the inside part of the plant, the vine, because bitter melon produce quite heavy vine, and they will shed all the yellow leaves that they don't do any good for them. And then I noticed also that this one here, it's slightly white mix, so it's very beautiful. It's very beautiful. It's not as green compared to this one, but it's still very beautiful fruit. What's up, son? Hi. All right, so the plant is still producing flowers. There's a lot more male flowers. Not as much fruit as I wanted, but overall it's still producing very well. And again, the reason why for the plant to produce little odd-shaped fruit like this is that some of the plants on the bottom here, maybe one of them, are underdeveloped. That's why they produce fruit that is not desirable as the other one. So the one that I can tell you, the one that is very robust, the plant that's very robust, very thick and well developed, they will produce good fruits, and they will have good fruit formations. Look at this, such a beautiful fruit. All right, so please post a comment, and please, if you like this video, please subscribe to our channel. I continue to learn more and more things that I don't know about this plant, even though I've been growing this for decade. I mean, since I was younger. But I continue to learn how nature works and how these plants really still amaze me. And it's such a beautiful plant. Look at this. Well, thank you for watching, and we'll see you again soon. Happy gardening.